Good afternoon and welcome inside the 321 studio for Fiore Calls Game. I am Andrew Fiore. I've got some special guests on today. It is the long-awaited interview of Connor Harris of Banana Ball. That's right, the Savannah Bananas. We're going to talk to him about his time playing D1 baseball, what it's like playing in Banana Ball, and his social media presence, and much, much more. I've got my co-host with me here, Brandon the Con Man Con. What is up, Con?
Afternoon, Fiore. Great day to be alive.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic day to be alive and a fantastic day to have a show. And we're going to get the main man on in a moment here as Connor Harris himself is joining us here. Connor, long time no see, man. Love it. Love the jersey. I said that to you right when you came on, but show the folks what you're wearing today.
So we got a Mystic Schooners jersey. I played in the Mystic Schooners team in 2022 and 2024. So we got number 30 right here in the back. But I figured I'd bring it out for today for the podcast.
Excellent choice. We've had a lot of Schooners guests on. We had Dennis Long, the general manager of the Schooners and pitching coach. We had Addison Kopak, one of your former teammates, who is now in the minor league system for the San Diego Padres, and he was hyping up the audience for what to expect with you coming on. So it's going to be a fun show for sure. But yeah, a lot going on for you. You spent this summer with the Savannah Bananas, not as a banana, but on the Visitors. Can you tell us a little about what the Visitors are?
Yeah, 100%. First of all, I appreciate you guys having me on. This is awesome. I've been looking forward to it for a while, and I'm just happy I get to talk with you again. I remember I came up in the booth actually in Mystic. That's always a fond memory. So I was happy to reconnect.
Absolutely, man. And I got to say, before I let you answer that, the best ever was when you interviewed from the dugout on ESPN Plus, and Dez was putting bubble gum on your cap.
Oh, yeah.
This kid's a great broadcaster, but we'll get back to that in a minute. I'll let you answer that question from before about what the Visitors are.
Yeah, so basically the Visitors are kind of the developmental team of Banana Ball. And so we got 6 weeks to come into Savannah, and this opportunity kind of came upon about halfway through the year when I was at Winthrop. And I was having a really good year, and at this point I was second in the country in strikeout to walk ratio, which is something that Banana Ball looks at very highly because they really want strike throwers, because when you come to a game, the last thing you want to see is a walk, because that's just not interesting for a fan.
Right.
So they saw the strike throwing, and then they saw on social media, and then they saw just kind of the type of guy I was character-wise, which is also something that they look highly upon. And I got a call from one of the recruiters. And at this time, I was still kind of thinking I really wanted to play professional baseball. I really wanted to play in the MLB. It was still my goal. But at that point, I was kind of being realistic, and I'm a 25-year-old, and it's tougher to make it up the ranks as you get older and older. And I saw Banana Ball as an opportunity to not only still continue to play the game that I love, but also to make an impact on the future generations of players, whether it's little league guys, high schoolers, college kids. I saw it as an opportunity to kind of continue baseball, but also continue sharing what I know and sharing my passion with kids. So I went to Savannah and didn't really know what to expect. Got there on June 1st, and it was 6 weeks until July 15th. And we got to play against the Bananas in a 3-week set in Savannah and play against the Party Animals in a 3-game set, then play against the Party Animals in a 3-game set in Louisville in front of over 40,000 people. So that was something special, and just met some really, really cool people. The way I describe it is that everyone there is really good baseball wise, but everyone there is also really, really good guys. So it's it's like every team has a couple glue guys that keep the culture of the team up, and that's everybody in Savannah. But yeah, so it was special. It was special. It was really cool.
So, as sports fans, we know what the Savannah Bananas are, and they're spreading like wildfire. But maybe some of our viewers don't know what makes Savannah Banana Ball different than regular baseballs. So, can you walk us through some of those differences?
So first of all, the big thing is that it's all fans first. So they basically took the game of baseball, which is a phenomenal game, and just made it a little bit more about the fans and less about kind of the tradition of the game. So every game finishes in under 2 hours. Every inning matters in a way of it's almost like a match play version of baseball. So if the away team scores 3 runs in the top half of the inning and the home team scores 1, the score after that inning is just 1-0. It's not 3-1. So that makes it exciting because the games are always really close. And in the 9th inning, every run matters. So the home team could be up 4-0, but if the away team scores 5 runs in the 9th inning, then they're up 5-4. So
Wow.
it just keeps everybody on their toes. If a fan catches a foul ball, that hitter's out, which is great. Great for the pitchers, not great for the hitters. Some of the hitters don't necessarily enjoy that one. And hitters can't step out of the box. You're working really, really fast. But the biggest thing that I've seen is just there's always something going on. So if you come to a game, like you're watching the game, but you're also watching people dance. You're also watching. We'll come up in the stands and we'll interact with everybody, from the people on the very, very top row to the people right in front of us. But we're always dancing. It's always kind of just trying to provide 2 hours of gameplay, an hour and a half before, an hour and a half after. Just provide a night where people can just kind of get away from real world struggles. They can just sit back and just enjoy, and just because when you're at that game, it's just there's such an overwhelming amount of joy and happiness that comes with it. That's from the fans to the players, but everybody. It's something that I've never seen before, and it definitely radiates among everybody.
Wow. Con, you got something?
Yeah, Connor, you beat me to the punch mentioning the foul balls. Catching the foul ball, if you're a fan, creates an out. It's what you guys do with a fan interaction and keeping everyone involved. It's really inspiring. How important are one-on-one fan interactions with you? You got a kid, maybe they don't know your name, but they see you wearing the jersey and they're maybe they want a picture, autograph, something like that. How important it is for you to make a connection to every single fan?
Oh, it's what we always say is that we're trying to do for one of what we wish we could do for many. So if it could be anywhere from I love talking to the high school, like little high school kids that come in, like the freshmen that are really kind of looking up to you, but like they're kind of at the level of you. So you're not trying to talk down to them at all. You're trying to almost be like their friend in that moment. But then you get like the really little boys that like look at you like you're a superhero, and they look up at you, and what I do in that situation is I always try and go down to their level, because it just makes it feel like it's more of like a one-on-one interaction versus someone just looking at you and talking, like someone talking down to you. Like, and I always try and make it seem like it's more casual than it is, because some of the fans get very like stressed out to come up to you. They're nervous about like the conversation. I had one cool story of, it was this little girl. She was maybe 1.5, maybe. And she comes over, her parents are with her, and their parents are all decked out in banana stuff, and they're all really excited. And this little girl looks terrified. I mean, it could be the fact that I'm 6'8". It could be the fact that we're all in uniform, but she is terrified. So I go down on one knee, and just to kind of get like to a point where I'm like level with her. Still, that's not level with her. So I actually get down and I lay down on the ground. So I'm laying down, and finally, like, I'm kind of looking at her in the eye. She's 1.5. And she like looks at me, and I'm just asking her about her name. And you just see her kind of just go from like really like tense and scared to all of a sudden she like kind of like puts her shoulders back a little bit, and she's just more of like relaxed. And she comes over and just gets like really close and gives me a hug. And I was like, and the parents are sitting there and they're just like taking pictures, like, she hasn't done that. Like, she hasn't done that yet. Like, that's absolutely incredible. So it's like
Wow.
those kind of moments and those like one-on-one interactions that can go for anybody. I mean, it could be, I have one-on-one interactions with parents that I still remember, but it's everyone you meet making them feel important, because when I'm a player and they're fans, like, I tell you, they make me feel like I'm like I'm very important. So I'm just trying to do that and reciprocate that feeling for them.
That's incredible. I mean, you've got to have skill to be able to make young kids like that feel appreciated and loved. And I see a lot of photos of you with fans. Like, I've seen you kneeling down for kids, and I've seen people tagging you left and right, presumably fans, and they're like, Connor Harris is our new favorite. Connor Harris is our favorite. Is it harder to do that when you're the visitors, like the trademark, opponent for the Bananas when they have the big draw?
So yeah, so that's a great question, because that's what I thought coming into it. I was like, are they gonna like not like us? Like, is it gonna are we like the villain almost? Like,
Yeah.
playing against the Party Animals, playing against the Bananas, like two of the teams that like are very well known. But I tell you, it took maybe the first day in Louisville when we had, so when we go to games, basically our schedule is kind of the 2 hours before, 2.5 hours before, we're out signing autographs for fans. Like, when they show up to the park, taking pictures, trying to make those fans' first moments with them. And then we play the game, and then we go back out and sign autographs for another hour and a half and take pictures and hang out with them, just trying to create more of those moments. So you can really kind of see the vibe of the fans. So that first day, like, they were kind of just almost like, you saw some people kind of walking past you and just going right to the Party Animals people, going right to the Bananas people. But then after that first day, just based on like everyone around me, like making different connections with the fans, the next day when you came back, I swear there was visitors gear. People were wearing like they were going like V's up. They were coming up. They're like, oh, I love the way you played last night. And I was like, wow, it took one day and we went from being nobodies. Now everybody wants to hang out and talk. But it's what Jesse wants to do with the visitors is he wants it to almost be the most boring team on earth. So that's why we wear our gray jerseys with our plain just says visitors, because we're the visiting team. Because he wants the fans to fall in love more with the individual players in this situation than the actual team, because the team itself only lasts 6 weeks, and then most of us will be off on a different team. So they want you to, like, it's cool that it's only there for 6 weeks, but he wants the fans to be like, oh wow, like, I loved the way Connor Harris was moving. I loved his dance moves. I loved his energy, loved his smile. And I can't wait for him to be on a different team. Or like in there, I could say that about everybody. Like the guy, all the other guys. It's such a great group of guys, and I can't wait to see where everyone ends up, because everyone's energy is contagious. You would have a field day with it, Andrew, because it's like a bunch of them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, just seeing your energy alone, if it's just a bunch of you, like, that's sick. Two things here. One, when people ask me about the Bananas, or when I've like advertised this show, the thing I say is they're similar to the Harlem Globetrotters, where it's traveling entertainment. You do the tricks. But with the Harlem Globetrotters, you have the Washington Generals, which they never win. The Globetrotters never lose. Now, when watching your clips, I saw clips where the visitors were up like 4-0. You're allowed to beat them, right?
Oh yeah, so that's one of the biggest misconceptions of Banana Ball, is that because it is like the Globetrotters in a way of it's providing entertainment and we're traveling across the country, but every time that we go out there to play, like we're trying to win. When I'm pitching, I'm trying to strike them out. There's no The only scripted part of Banana Ball is the dances, and it is the entertainment. From the first pitch to the last pitch, we are trying to beat the other team every single time. There was a point this year where the Bananas lost like 9 games in a row.
Wow.
So everyone, like, that's what next year is going to be, because next year is the Banana Ball League. So there's going to be 6 teams. They're adding 2 more teams, and it's going to be a whole league, and with standings, with the whole playoffs, because the biggest problem right now is whenever people think of the Savannah Bananas, whenever they think of the Banana Ball League in general, they just think of the Savannah Bananas. When in reality, there's 4 teams right now, and next year there's going to be 6 teams. But when you have 4 million people on a ticket waiting list just to try and see tickets to watch a Banana Ball game, like, there's so many teams, there's so many unbelievable acts. There's a guy on the Texas Tailgaters that hits while he's on a unicycle. Like,
what?
Literally hits off of 90-mile-an-hour pitch.
That's insane.
While on a unicycle, and then takes his unicycle and goes to first base. It's
Peanut could probably do that. Ant probably could do that.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah, so it's something special.
I've got another one, and you actually just answered Mrs. Khan's question there about how many teams there are, and yeah, I didn't even know there were other teams until I started following it because of you. But I've seen people say, like, or not people say, I've seen it posted that like former players will come from whatever city the team is at. So like, say the Bananas are in Boston, they had like I don't know, like Johnny Gomes or someone come out, a player that used to be on the Red Sox or something like that will come out. Have you gotten to meet any of those players, or no? Because you only went to Louisville, right?
Yeah, so I haven't personally, because I just went to Louisville, and then we had our series in Savannah. But there, some of the stories that people will say is just unbelievable. Like, of what, like, just the interactions that you have before. I know the Firefighters, the Bananas, they were at the Baltimore Ravens practice last week, got to meet everybody, and they were at the Denver Broncos practice this week.
Wow.
Right after, so they played a series at Camden Yards, and then they played a series at Rockies, the Rocky Stadium, and then they went to go meet the NFL team, and then they were all hanging out, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. So it's some of the people that I'll be able to meet along this Banana Ball journey is gonna be it's gonna be cool.
That's unreal. A buddy of ours actually, Connor, called in the photographs for the Orioles, and he had to work that Banana Ball series, and it just looked insane by his photos. If somebody wants to go see you guys, say someone's like, I want to see Connor Harris after seeing this, they live in my area, say even for me, because I want to come see you. What does that process look like? Is it the same as buying major league tickets where you just go online, go on Vivid Seats or something like that and just type it in, or you set a wait list or something?
So that's what Jesse's envision was. I'm sure you know Jesse, the yellow tux guy.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah. So he wants to make it as much fans first as possible. So all the tickets are very reasonably priced. If you go to a game in Savannah, it's $35 for parking, was free. All you can drink, all you can eat.
Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable. And then so if you go to like these big stadiums and you're on the wait list, it's like $35. No fees, no ticket fees, nothing. But the problem is now that everybody wants to go and everybody wants to be a part of it. So there's a wait list. So you have to go put your name in the ticket wait list, and it's like a lottery. So basically, like, every time, and then you just get an email and it'll say like, oh, like, you've been selected. But if you don't do that, you also can get them online, but then that's when they get a little pricey because everyone starts to resell them. So I know, like, even I was looking at the ones in Charlotte before I joined the team, and they were like $300, and I was like, wow, like 300. And I know, like, in when they were at Dodger Stadium, they went the week after the Yankees played there, and the tickets for the Bananas game were more expensive than the Dodgers Yankees games. And I was like, wow, but it's just because of the way the lottery works. So if you put your name in the lottery, you'll get a great deal and you'll have a great experience, but it's just about kind of, you have to do the waiting game. But next year there'll be two more teams. So there'll be more opportunities. Every team's playing 60 games. So I think it'll be next year. I think it'll be a lot easier to get a ticket than it is now.
How often do you guys go to the big cities?
I can't really speak too much on that because I haven't really done it much because I've only done the two weekend series, but they're there very often. I know the tailgaters right now are actually on a college tour, which is pretty cool. So they were at LSU last weekend. I think they're going to like Alabama or like Ole Miss. Like they're going to all like the big college stadiums in the South, like all the SEC schools. So that's pretty cool too, because it's not as big like the stadium wise, or like it's not a football stadium by any means, but it's just that it's that cool atmosphere that everyone kind of craves, that you only really get in the playoffs sometime with baseball. But with the banana ball games, you get them all the time, whether it's game 1 of the season or game 50. It feels like it's game 7.
Unreal. Con, you're up.
Yeah. So you talk about the college tour that Texas is on right now. How important is outreach, like continuing to inform people about the league and getting them more familiar with how it works? How important is outreach going to be for the expansion and the continued growth and success of Banana Ball? Obviously, it's working pretty well this year, but next year you're adding teams and hopefully going around more, getting more places, opportunities to come see you guys. Just how important is it to everybody involved to get as many people involved as possible?
I mean, I think it's vital. I think you got, especially that's where the social media comes into play big time, is that you can kind of address, not only build your brand, but you can address some of these issues or kind of gaps in information. So like you can see if you go like on Jesse's account or on like the Banana Ball account, they just did a whole like video talking about the Banana Ball League, and they'll keep doing that. And in October, there's going to be a whole like big expansion announcement. So I think they're going to do it in Savannah and announce the names of the 2 new teams and have like all like the teams present, have like the stands packed for it, have like the whole band and everything. So I feel like what Banana Ball does so well is they can create like huge moments with not so big, like huge moments with not so big moments, if you will. So it's like in a regular, just like a regular Banana Ball game, like for the fans sometimes can seem like it's game 7 of the World Series, or if like you're announcing 2 new teams, everybody's going to want to be a part of that. So they do a great job of making everybody feel like they want to be a part of that.
Yeah. I mean, how I first learned about Banana Ball is seeing you guys on TikTok. I mean, like the amount of your dances and plays, and that's actually how I learned about the foul ball being caught by a fan counting as an out is through your TikTok. And I've noticed that you've posted some TikToks yourself, like your journey. So I was wondering how important it is to follow. Let me see his username. Connor Harris _30. Is that it?
That's the Instagram.
Okay. All right. So make sure you guys follow him on his socials. But how important is it just to you to put one of your most viral videos is your journey to Banana Ball that you posted? How important is it to you to again, kind of related to my first question, to create those fan interactions and expand your own outreach? Because like you said, the goal of Jesse and some of the higher ups is to get all the individual players more recognized. So how important is it for you to have that social media outreach and have people recognize you for you and not just a random banana?
I think so. Going into Banana Ball, like I was not big into social media. I didn't even have TikTok downloaded 2.5 months ago. I wasn't even on my phone because I thought it was like, oh, like social media takes up a lot of your time. Not huge into it. And I had an Instagram, but didn't go on it too much. And coming in, I knew I was going to have to start posting. But what Banana Ball kind of taught me was that social media gives you an opportunity to impact people without them having to be in the same room as you or the same location. So if I post a video, so I posted that my story video and I got like 60,000 views on TikTok. But in reality, if I posted that video and it got 100 views, but it impacted 2 people, then I consider that a good job done. So I think it's less about like building a following and more about just continuing to be authentic and true to who I am. And I think the following will come. Like I think I've seen it go the other way too, where you're more worried about getting like this amount of followers or getting to this way. And like, I don't think that that's the way to do it necessarily, because I think that if you do that, then you're kind of losing a little bit of who you are in the process. And I think the second that that happens, then you're using social media for the reasons that I wasn't using it in the first place. So like I'll make funny videos, but then I'll also add in videos. Like I just posted a video on TikTok maybe an hour ago about like 5 things that I wish I knew as a young baseball player, and just different little lessons that if a 13-year-old, 14-year-old is just scrolling on TikTok and they look at all 5 of those lessons and that helps them with their season just a little bit, then I feel like, okay, that I'm using social media for good.
Yeah, absolutely. Great way to keep yourself grounded too. I don't want to speak for Fiore, but to plug ourselves a little bit, I think that when he was thinking about getting the podcast started back up again, he was like, I just want to have a platform where I can shoot the shit and talk sports with my buddies, and that's really what we're aiming to do. And not really paying too much attention to the viewer count. I think it's a very smart thing to do, because you got to remember at the end of the day, you're doing this for you, and if you can connect to some people, that's great. It shouldn't matter the number. So I really appreciate your answer and how down to earth it was.
I think it's also add in. I think it's great what you guys do here. I mean, having even just hearing some of the people that you guys have brought on, you brought on some amazing people, and just giving them a platform to speak out so other people can hear them. It's in a way like you guys are impacting so many people that you don't even realize. So kudos to you guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Hey, all credit to Fiore though. Like this is 95% of this show is him, if not more. I'm just along for the ride, and I'm absolutely grateful.
I couldn't do it without you and Kyle, but yeah, no, I appreciate that a lot, and you've helped us out, because I was gonna say the post announcing that you were coming on was our most liked, most interacted with post.
Let's go.
And it's not even more than the MLB umpire we had on last week. So you've got quite the following there, and it's got to build up your case for joining one of those teams when they have that redraft. Do you like your odds for getting on a team? Do you have any inkling of what team? Do you work your way up to the Bananas, or is it kind of random draw? How does that all work?
So it's not like a work your way up to the Bananas, because the Bananas are just as equal as the Tailgaters, or just as equal as the new team. The Bananas just have a bigger name. But talent-wise, like even right now, the Party Animals, I'll tell you right now, the Party Animals are a more talented baseball team than the Savannah Bananas. And I think that anyone in that organization would agree. I think the Bananas, they know how to play, and they're very competitive, and they're a very good team as well. But both teams can flat out play. There are a lot of really, really good players. And I think that's something that I almost want to like just be able to tell everybody, is that yes, like there's a lot of really good people and they do a lot of TikTok dances, but there's some guys in this league that are really, really, really good. I mean, the 3-hitter for the Party Animals was drafted in the first round. I think it was the 12th pick in the draft.
Wow.
My roommate this summer for the Visitors was drafted in the 3rd round, was with the Astros for 6 years. We got like probably 5 or 6 different minor league guys that were in AAA, throwing the ball like 93, hitting bombs. So I'm excited to see, just with a 6-team league and see like how many different, just like little like competitiveness you can kind of get out of people. Because that's the second you put all these talented people and put them against each other, you see some fire. You see some fire. Whether it's a banana ball game, you could have a bananas uniform, tailgaters, party animals, firefighters, whatever. You're trying to win. So I think that's gonna be fun. And I don't know any inkling on what team or anything, and I can't really talk about that part of it too much because that's kind of a little bit later on. But all I know is it's gonna be there's a bright future for banana ball.
Before I forget, I have to ask a very silly question. Is it a requirement to do a backflip before catching a fly ball in the outfield, or is that just, some guys showing off? Because they definitely don't have to do that. They could do behind the back or something flashy, but some of the more viral clips I see from you guys are just doing backflips or flips before anything, doing something crazy athletic.
So their trick plays are very encouraged. You want to try trick plays, even if you don't get them, you still want to go out and try them. And the backflip is a big one that I think it was DR Meadows, that outfielder for the Bananas, that did it first, but I could be wrong. But basically it's almost, if you can do a backflip, which is not easy. I can't do a backflip. I'm 6'8". If I tried to do a backflip, I'd end up not good. But when they do a backflip, you can kind of see the ball in the entire time, which a lot of guys will say is a little bit easier than around the back because you can't really watch it in. So there's a lot of times, if you can do a backflip, sometimes they just hammer that every time because it's a little bit easier. But sometimes you see like between the legs, or someone like now there's like a sideways flip that some people do, but like just the athleticism that it takes to do something like that is beyond me. I'm glad I just pitch. I just throw some strikes, mix in a couple under the legs, maybe around the back.
No more splits.
Yeah. Maybe to break something in your leg if you tried a backflip or something. Yeah. But no, the side flips too. I've been seeing like a lot of those in general, and I'm glad that the Bananas find new ways to make the game even more entertaining. I think it's going to really go a long way with your your growth, your outreach, and that sort of thing.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's going to be it's just any way to get a fan to have a memorable experience. That's the thing. And it could be having a conversation before the game, could be having a conversation after, could be just pointing at somebody in the crowd. It also could be doing a backflip or pitching really well. And it's just all part of it. And it's just all for the greater good of just impacting people in a positive way.
So can you tell our audience why they will not be seeing you perform splits?
So when I was early on this year, the first week of Banana Ball, we had a dance competition, and I can do a split. So I can't. That's one of my like claims to fame because I'm 6'8", and most people wouldn't expect you to be able to do a split at 6'8". So I start doing a couple splits before, and the people in my competition, in my group competition, are like, "Hey, like, I think we do the little split," and then everyone kind of like just jumps over you at the end of the competition, like, "Oh yeah, I'm so in, let's do it." So we practiced the whole day before. I'm doing it really good, and the day of, in front of everybody, I'm telling like the Bananas coaches, the players, party animals, we have a whole orientation, and I go and we killing the dance, and I start like going like this, and then I go into my split, but this time I didn't just go into a split, I jumped into it. So I jump into the split like I'm a Cowboys cheerleader. I don't know what I was thinking. And I go down and I hit the ground, and I knew right away. Something just popped. So I end up getting a grade 2 hamstring strain. My whole hamstring like swells up. And luckily I was able to battle back and make a little return and pitch still in Louisville. But I was supposed to start in Louisville and Savannah, but I only ended up going to one inning each time because I was still recovering from the hamstring strain. So that was a big thing on social media. It was no more splits for you, Connor. So
I see why you put the glasses on for that one. That is not an injury to mess with, man.
Yeah.
I do not envy you. Gee.
It's like reminding me of Edwin Diaz getting injured in the celebration, the World Baseball Classic.
Exactly. It was just like, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, did that really just happen?
Oh, that must have been brutal.
Yeah.
I had a really good question. I just lost it for a second. Oh yeah. The other big social media theme that you've been sticking with is your phone. I hinted at it earlier. What was up with that? Posting about your iPhone for about a few weeks straight.
So so like I said, I didn't have social media at all on TikTok. So every first day I get there and we have our first meeting, and I kid you not, everyone's got like the newest iPhone with camera and a recorder, and they have like different little tripods, microphones attached. And I'm like, what? Like a lot of people have glasses that like can take video and like hear you talk. And I was like, I mean, this is really cool, but I'm sitting here. I have an iPhone SE and I have a home button. It's from 2016, and everyone starts like laughing, and I'm like, I don't even know what to post. Like I've never even like posted on TikTok before. So I'm like, all right, everyone's in the water. So I just grab my phone and I go down there. I'm like, all right, everyone, just get behind me. They're like, okay. So they get behind me. I'm like, what's up, everybody? I'm Connor Harris. I have an iPhone SE with a home button. I just moved to Savannah, Georgia to play banana ball. Here we are. And then everyone just goes nuts. And I got like 30,000 views on TikTok. And that was like my first claim to fame. And I gained like 1,000 followers just from that video. And everyone was commenting like, I have an iPhone SE. Like, oh, he's got a home button too. That's so funny. So every once in a while now, I'll still bring it back. I'll be like, yeah, I still got a home button. People love it. It's fun.
Making me look good with my Android.
Yeah.
So I've got to bring this to the NECBL. You knew this was coming at some point, but yeah, you spent 2 seasons with the Mystic Schooners. You caught me my last year there. How important was that experience for you in this journey to banana ball?
So 2 years I spent with Mystic, and they're so different in a way. Of the first year that I spent in Mystic was when I was at George Washington, and I was riding a high. I had a great season, but didn't end the season as well as I'd like. And I was talking to a lot of MLB teams and didn't pan out at the end. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna ball out this summer. And I went and I was the closer because I was on a innings limit. And so I went as a closer and pitched really, really well. Had an awesome experience. We were actually playing at Dodd Stadium at that time. And just made really good connections with a lot of guys. Coach Orby's obviously the man, Dennis Long, Ray, Ray, awesome.
I miss Ray.
Oh, me too. And then the second time was so my senior season, I came back after Mystic, after that summer that I was really working really hard to come back and have a big season. And about a week into the season, I tore my UCL, got a nice little scar. And I was devastated. My whole season got just taken away from me right in that moment. And I didn't really know if baseball was going to still be in my future. It was tough time at that point. But I remember sitting with my dad, and he's like, your baseball career has come way too far. You've given too much to this game for it to end like this. And I agreed. So I ended up transferring to Winthrop and come back in 11 months, but only come back for like the last 2-3 weeks of the year. And I texted Coach Orby right when I got Tommy John. And I said, hey, save me a spot. I'm coming back to Mystic, and I'm going to pitch next summer. And this was like a year and a half advance. I think I was the first guy to be on the team. And Coach Orby goes, you got it. I'm in. So I come back, and I started the entire time at Mystic. And I was able to pitch in front of my family, which was awesome. My family would show up in bunches for when I pitched. They would sit in center field.
Yeah.
And it was just like Mystic at that point. It was a grind getting back to play again, back to pitch again. And that summer in Mystic was just so special because it was just like my love for the game of baseball just came flowing back. It was like I had my family there. I was in Connecticut. I was back in a familiar place in Mystic. I had people around me that really cared. I felt like I was actually pitching well again. I was actually back to myself. So it was Mystic was the Schooners, everybody there was huge in my development and coming back and being who I am.
Your family had that whole porch over there, I guess, on the hill in center field, and your dad was like everywhere when you pitch. I saw him in Martha's Vineyard one time, which is a hall for those of you at home who don't know. He would no matter where we were, he was there. It's unbelievable how like devoted he is to watching you play.
Unbelievable. In Louisville for my first professional game, the flights got like ridiculously expensive. And so he ended up taking a bus for like 19 hours to come to Louisville. It was like overnight bus, and he was just sitting there and he was just watching. He was like, I'd take a bus for 70 hours. This is worth it. But it's very special to have him, my dad, my mom, my sisters, my girlfriend. Everybody's been in my corner throughout this whole process. And when you have a support system like that, it's really refreshing.
You played with a lot of great players in Mystic too, and I mentioned we had some of them on. Anthony DePino was on, Tristan Levesque, Addison Kopak, guys like that. How do you feel watching those guys advance in their professional careers? Like Jack Goodman just got his first few hits in the Florida State League with the Lakeland Flying Tigers.
He hit a bomb. He hit a homer.
Yeah, down in Clearwater. I saw that video. That was what, this morning or last night?
Yeah, he posted that. I think he posted that this morning. That's awesome.
Yeah. How do you feel watching those guys go on to do great things?
I'm proud. That would be the word. I've always taken a lot of pride in being a really good teammate and just being there for all of them and being there because they've been there for me. So seeing them advance is almost like I have the same happiness in them advancing that I do as myself advancing, because it feels like we're still part of a team, and it feels like when Goody got drafted and he got, like, I was like, that's all, like that. I feel like I'm getting drafted. Like it's that level of excitement because they've done so much for me, and I feel like we're all around each other in such an impactful time in all of our lives, of where it's almost like it's almost like one of those cross paths where you can either go this way or this way. And I feel like we were all pushing each other, like, keep going, man. Like, you're in the dog days of summer. Like, it's tough. Like, maybe you want to go hang out with some of our other friends, go to the beach, but like, you're playing on your 40th game of the summer after playing 70 games in the spring. Like, it gets to a grind. But I think when you have the people and the support system around you, it makes it all worth it. And then seeing these people advance, seeing these guys, it's absolutely incredible.
And I mean, even the guys that don't get drafted, you still see them go on to do great things. Like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe I saw Sam Kirkpatrick got engaged. Some of these guys are just
true. I think that's true.
Yeah, it's awesome watching all these guys, and it was really a great culture down there in Mystic. I do want to go into more detail at something I briefly mentioned, and it was your broadcasting. You brought it up, actually. You came in the booth with me. It was against the Swamp Bats. Unfortunately, it was the time when we were having serious internet problems, and the video didn't come out great, so I do not have those clips. Otherwise, I would totally put them up. But you were the best player I've ever had come on for an interview. Or it was unreal. I can put up on our social media a different clip where you were in the dugout calling the game.
Yeah, that's
up in Valley. It blew me away. I didn't even have to ask you. I was asking everyone to try broadcasting a little bit, and you just jumped right in. It was like, oh, this is a 1-2 pitch. I think a curveball is coming here. You'd be spot on. It was electric.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, I mean it's easy to do it when you got you in the booth with me. You know,
I appreciate that.
It makes it easy. It's a very welcoming environment, I'll say.
One of the pitchers who I had in the booth with me that same day got drafted. I gotta look at where he went. Colton Shaw out of Yale. I'm blanking on where he went, but he just got drafted. He was there the same day. I don't think the same time as you, but I had about 4 different players in the booth that day, and it was just a lot of fun. Seattle. He signed with the Seattle Mariners, which is awesome for him, but so many different personalities, and I mean, you just fit in like a glove in the booth. Have you seen those skills kind of translate here at Banana Ball?
I think there's definitely some ways in regards of social media and like talking to the fans that I feel like it comes a little naturally, and I enjoy doing it. Versus I feel like some other people definitely have to work at it a little more. But I enjoy being around the game in all aspects, whether it's being outside the stadium, walking in, or being in the dugout, watching everything, or pitching, or announcing. And I think that you can kind of speak on that too, is that whether you're in the booth or you're on the field, like you feel like you're a part of that day. You're a part of that outcome, and you're a part of something that's bigger than you. And that's just something I love about the game of baseball, about sports in general.
Yeah, I felt like I was part of the team, really, as corny as that sounds, but like I would go home upset when we lost, be like, okay, come on, we need this playoff push here. The Schooners actually just got their first playoff win since 2016, apparently. Something you were a part of, the long playoff streak. You got to pitch in the playoffs
Twice.
few times. I remember the year we had together, we were out in Bristol, and you had one of the best games of your life. Unfortunately, didn't get the run support, but
yeah.
How long did you go? Like 7 or 8 innings? One run, maybe, if that?
7 with one unearned run. I remember that. And I remember I wanted to keep going, but I was at like 74 pitches, and I was already like past my innings limit. But I came in and I was like, keep me in the game. I want to stay in the game. And then Dennis Long was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I was like, oh, come on. And then we ended up going to somebody else, and but I think we ended up losing. I think we lost 2-1. I think was the final score, if I remember right. But that was a heartbreaker. I remember there was some fun. There was a big double play. I remember I came in and I just gave Davis a high five catching, and I still feel like my hands still ringing to this day.
Yeah. I think I remember that exact play. I think there was a caught stealing at one point.
Oh, that's what it was. That's what it was. It was the strike him out, throw him out. And it was like, and then Davis throws him out, and boom, and I give him a high five. And went wild.
Man, what could have been? I mean, that game was right there. Your performance, you had a ton of great performances. You would go deep into games every time. Some of you that when you saw you were going to the mound, you're comfortable, like, okay, Harris bump day, we've got this one. And you'd hold the fort down, and man, it was an incredible run. What was your favorite place to pitch at in the NECBL?
I got to go with Muzzy. I got to go.
I
love the Shipyard, but
yeah.
I mean, Muzzy just has so much history for me growing. I mean, it's about 10 minutes from where I grew up, and I just pitched so many times there. And every time that I pitch at Muzzy, I feel like it's almost just a show, because I feel like I have so many different family members that come watch. So I would say Muzzy.
Good choice there. Oh my goodness, good choice. What do you have a memory? I mean, maybe it's that game we just talked about, but a memory that stands out from your time in Mystic?
There's so many. There was one day I had where it was in Mystic. It was at the Shipyard. I forget who we were pitching against, but my sister was having a rough time at that point, and she was able to come to the game for the first time in a little bit. And I ended up pitching like 6 innings. I got the win, and then we got like Orby gave me the game ball from the day, and then I got like the lemonade. And I sat on the mound, and I walked out. I ran out to center field, and it was like all my family was there. And then I took the ball and I tossed it to my sister, and then she grabbed it, and I was like, "That was for you." And then like my mom like loved it, my parents loved it, and it was just one of those moments that I was like, again, like I just felt like the game was bigger than me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those moments, and then there's a lot of the fun times. Remember those times waiting in the parking lot for the bus? You were blasting music. You brought speakers with you. Then there was the time there would be fog delays, and we'd be playing football in the outfield.
Oh yeah, I remember we did that. That was like that was this last game. That was the playoff game.
The playoff game,
yeah.
game 2. Yeah, I remember I made a sliding. I had never made a sliding catch at anything in my life until you threw me a pass. It was so natural. I was so proud of myself. Still am for that catch.
Oh yeah, no, there was some really fun times.
And there's a reason Fiore is usually at the booth and not on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Sorry,
you're
buddy.
right, dude. You're right, but I looked good that day. You've gotten to meet my little brother too, I'm sure. I know we met a bunch of those Schooners. And so just from seeing how you interact with him, it gave me a glimpse to how you are with those young fans. So I'm not even surprised seeing you with the little kids on your posts, giving them autographs and stuff. Did you have moments like that before a whole lot where you'd meet young fans at the NECBL or college games?
Oh, I mean, there was definitely some times at the NECBL or in the Appy League in Greenville when we won the championship there. That was a great year. I mean, there was definitely moments of it and spurts of it, but seeing it this summer of just like how many people, how many fans, and just what it meant to them. Like that was something that I definitely hadn't seen before, and just the kind of impact the kind of platform that you're able to have. And the way I look at it is like it's a platform, but you haven't done anything yet. Like you have a platform on Banana Ball, but now it's your job to go use it for good and not just wash it away. Like you have a great opportunity to go impact people, now go impact people in a positive way.
What is this off season looking like for you?
So right now, I actually was just on vacation. I was just in Cabo for the first time. Unbelievable. But I think now I'm going to Cape Cod this weekend to go visit with some of my family. Right now I'm focusing on just visiting my family because I haven't seen them in so long. I'm at home for the first time since Christmas.
Wow.
So that's special. But I think I'm gonna start grinding, start kind of get in Banana Ball shape because the game is definitely faster. So I think the stamina has to be there. I'm gonna make a lot of social media, a lot of content, try and grow the brand, try and make an impact. I thought about could be doing a camp soon in the area, so I can make some either lessons, that kind of stuff. But right now it's nice because you kind of have a little open period, time to kind of reflect on where these last 4 or 5 months have gone, because it's been a whirlwind going from finishing up at Winthrop, my last ever college game, to Savannah, to here. It all happened so fast, just like it always does. So kind of taking a little time to reflect and then getting right back into it.
What was it like temporarily moving to Savannah? Did you grow to like the area? Was that a big transition at first?
It was great. It was great. I was lucky. I had two great roommates. Peyton Chantier, who was a shortstop, won a national championship with Ole Miss.
Wow.
And then Jordan Brewer, who actually went to the finals, went to Omaha in the finals with Michigan, and then went and played minor league ball with the Astros for 6 years. But both of them just very grounded people, very humble, fun to be around. And we all kind of were in the same boat of we're all coming from different parts of the country and just moving here for 6 weeks. And it's just a kind of a whirlwind of all of a sudden, boom, you're there and you're just in a place. Like we didn't really even know too much about Banana Ball when we got there. We're like looking up like the rules and everything. And all of a sudden it was we're all really close. So I'm kind of hoping that we're all on the same team.
That would be fantastic.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have seen the commercials and stuff, but Banana Ball is on ESPN and Hulu now. Not your first time on ESPN Plus, of course, but how has knowing that you have a bigger audience impacted the way you play or the way you handle yourself?
I don't honestly think too much. Honestly, I think because that's what I was talking about earlier. I think the second that you start changing up because of your platform or your audience, then you become less authentic.
Right.
So I want to stay the same guy I am, same guy I always been. I think that's why I got recruited to come to Banana Ball, and I'm not gonna switch up just because there's a bigger audience following me. So I think that that's something I've always thrived off that kind of stuff. I've always thrived off pitching in the big game, like wanting the ball, whether there's 15,000 people in the crowd or 5. I think that I've always treated everything like it's that Game 7 atmosphere. So that when you do have that Game 7 atmosphere, it doesn't feel like it.
Con man, you're up.
Connor, I was wondering, for newer fans, I can't say that I've watched a full game, but I've seen so many clips and started to learn more and more about Banana Ball. How easy is it, for some of our viewers, for example, and new fans of this great sublet of baseball to get into Banana Ball?
It's once all you have to do is watch one game. That's all I'll say. You got to watch one game, and you're hooked. And what I said back to like the fans' first experience is that even the fans' first experience even goes to when you're sitting on your couch at home, because every game is streamed on YouTube, every single one for free. So, yes, it's on ESPN, and that's new, and it's going to be on TNT and Hulu and True TV, and all these deals have been announced. But Jesse and the higher ups at Banana Ball have made sure that if you don't have those platforms, you're still able to watch the games. So everybody with any sort of technology can watch a Banana Ball game. And it's a 2-hour limit. You're not going to be sitting there all night. It's going to be nonstop entertainment, even from the couch. You'll get random little concerts from people coming in. You'll see random pop-ups. Every single Banana Ball game that you see, you'll see something that's never been done on a baseball field. And that's what makes it different than the Globetrotters, because if you saw the Globetrotters play once, you're good. You go see them again, it's the exact same show. With Banana Ball, you see them once, you go see them the next time, it's completely different. Completely different dances, completely different show, completely different outcome. So it's addicting, I'll say. And I think that's what some of the fans see, is that you see one game and all of a sudden you make an impact with one player. You make a relationship with one player, then all of a sudden you want to make a relationship with another one. You want to go see another game, and all of a sudden you're a Banana Ball fanatic, and that's what it's growing to.
I love.
Well, I want to get hooked on that.
Yeah, me too, man. I love how many people can get involved and are so invested already. I saw, I'm a diehard Boston guy. I'm just from around the Boston area. Absolutely love that you guys came to Fenway. Obviously you weren't there for that trip, but it's so great. Like, it was packed too. Every single clip, it was packed. Everybody was on their feet most of the time. It's just an absolutely great environment. And I love that you guys stream it on YouTube too, because just about everybody can have access. And I think that's what sets the MLB and you guys apart, access wise, because you got the nationwide blackout in the MLB. Hey, I want to go watch some fun Banana Ball. I can just turn on YouTube, click a couple buttons. So I hope it stays that way, and I'm glad that you guys are getting these huge TV deals. How important it is it? I have a lot of how important questions, but I like to hear your thoughts on. Yeah, I like to hear your personal opinion on like how important it is to make sure you're still staying on YouTube. You're getting the most people to watch as possible. You're making sure everybody has access. How important is that to you personally, and then also for the continuation of the success of the league?
So with Banana Ball, if you watch on social media, you'll see it many times, but the goal of Banana Ball isn't to go make $1 billion. It's not to go make a huge profit. It's not to go expand to different countries right now. The goal of Banana Ball is 1 billion fans. They want 1 billion people to care about the league. And when you care about impacting people versus trying to put money from their pocket into yours, then you're going to have different things in place that are for them. And I think that's what separates Banana Ball apart, and that's what's allowed it to grow. I mean, five years ago, Banana Ball was laughed at. Like like people forget how quick this has all happened. Of 5 years ago, the Savannah place where historic Grayson Stadium was a minor league team, and Jesse bought it, and they were sleeping in the locker room at the stadium on an air mattress, trying to figure out what to do with the place. And now they can't put enough games together to get it sold out. Like it's crazy how fast it happened. But the reason that it's happened so fast is because it's so different than everything else. Because every other business, it seems like, is just money. Every professional sport, money. You know, even like movies, shows, everything out there, like money. Like everything is about money first and then everything else second. And Banana Ball has made it so clear that it's just fans here, the money's going to come. They're not worried about that. So I think that as long as they keep that, as long as we keep that in our minds, I think the future is really, really bright.
One last question for you. And this was something that you heard a few years ago and then it kind of died off. But what do you say to the people that are like, Savannah Bananas are ruining the tradition of the game or destroying the sport? There was a big complaint from a lot of, traditionalists for a long time.
I would say some people will always say, like, so you guys, sometimes on social media, you get some of the comments of like, oh, this is fake baseball and all this stuff. And my response is that it's not, you can't fake a smile. You can't, like, when you have 80,000 people in the stands and they're all standing up and smiling, life is hard sometimes. I'll say, I mean, I'm sure you guys and any viewer watching can tell that life can get tough. And there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of tragedies, there's ups, there's downs. And if Banana Ball can provide some sort of happiness, some sort of impact, some sort of motivation for somebody, then that's not ruining baseball. That's not fake. That's not TikTok baseball. What that is that's making an impact on people.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah, it's a great thing, positive thing for the community, and you fit right in there. I don't know how I didn't fit that together in my head, when you were there, thinking like, man, this guy would be perfect for Banana Ball, because it's such a natural fit. And you've got such a great personality, and I was thrilled to have you on, man. Great catching up with you. If there's ever a way for me to get out and see you, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I'd hook you up. You've been there.
Oh, absolutely. That would be awesome. If you guys come to like New York,
that diving football catch.
Yeah, that earned my spot. But yeah, I appreciate that. I will come out and see you one day for sure. But thanks again, Connor, for coming on. It was a great experience.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. That was a blast.
Hey, your energy is infectious, man. You made it so easy to talk to. A great storyteller. Really appreciate you coming on, man. It does us wonders, and you're a great person. Keep it up. I can't wait to see what you do next season.
Yeah, and keep up with what you guys are doing too. I mean, I'm definitely gonna tune in on some other shows now that I've been on this one.
Awesome.
But yeah, keep it up, man. You guys are killing it.
Thank you. And we are making some big changes soon, folks. We are going to be increasing the amount of shows. We're going to do a Monday Night Football special.
Let's go.
We're going to live react, kind of like the Manning cast, but better, because we'll be talking about all sorts of things. We won't be constrained to the game, but you'll have us live watching. Then Wednesdays, we will be airing our guest shows just like this one. And then we'll have a weekly roundup Fridays at 1. So Monday at 8, Wednesday at 1, Friday at 1. I will post all that soon, but that's our fall schedule. We have so much coming down the way. But Connor, fantastic talking to you again. Keep it up, man, and we will stay in touch.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and we will see you all soon. This was Fiore Calling Game.